Hello everyone, Rurikhan here with another episode of Kast, and today is the 30th of May, and we got a couple of subjects here to talk about. Unfortunately, there are quite a few of them, which means I won't have as much time as I would like to dedicate to every single one of them. But without any further ado, let's go straight into the shout-out section of the Kast. So today's shout-outs go out to Wouter Storteboom from the Netherlands, who has donated to the cause. Thank you very much, Wouter Storteboom. I'm sorry if that's not exactly how you pronounce your name, but I do like the boom at the end of it. It's like, Wouter, start the boom. Bring in the boom. And Emmanuel Fratilla from Romania, who has also donated to the cause. Thank you very much, guys. It is highly appreciated. And before we actually go into the community topics section, I would also like to mention that we have a new channel art on YouTube, as most of you guys probably noticed it. As a matter of fact, I grabbed that art and pretty much spread it across all of my social streams like Twitter, Facebook, Google Plus, all that stuff. And I just put the same art in all of those things. And I have to say, I really like the new art that's on the channel. And in case you guys are wondering, that was actually made by Sidestrafe. And he's just really great at making that kind of stuff. So he's usually the one that I try and go to whenever he has time to kind of hook me up with stuff like that, with branding, whatnot. I mean, even the, little thing on my thumbnails that says Rui, which is my real name, obviously. But, all of my videos have a thumbnail, and usually that thumbnail will say like Rui at the upper left corner. Sidestrafe also did that. And the previous background that my channel had, Sidestrafe also did that, apart from the two Raging Dwarves. I added that in myself, which Sidestrafe hated, but I just need to have a dwarf in the background of my channel. It just needs to happen. There's no way that I can do it any other way. There needs to be a dwarf in my channel. It's just that simple. I mean, you guys know how I feel about dwarves. But anyways, Sidestrafe was the one behind all the art and stuff on the channel right now, so it actually has a more unified look together with the thumbnails and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, thanks Sidestrafe once again. And now let's get into the community topic of this particular Conscast. Now, in the last Conscast, there wasn't really a whole lot of people. As a matter of fact, there was one person who made a suggestion for the community topic. And I guess it's because most people were just focused on watching the wedding footage and all that kinds of stuff. So, I mean, I get it. But just remember, when you're watching a Conscast, I do expect you guys to kind of like, put up a community topic so that I can discuss it on the next Conscast. So remember that and leave that in the comment section below. Make your suggestion. Check the comments themselves. See if something that you're going to suggest has already been suggested, and make sure to thumbs it up. So because I will basically pick it based on which suggestion has the most thumbs up. That's the way I've been doing it all this time, and that's the way I'm going to keep on doing it in regards to the community topic. But still, there was one suggestion in the previous Conscast, so I'm going to go ahead and run with it. This suggestion was by Dilliger90, and he suggested I talk about the upcoming free-to-play Monster Hunter MMO. And a lot of you guys might even be like, whoa, what the hell do you mean? There's going to be a free-to-play MMO Monster Hunter coming? And I mean, those of you who are passionate about Monster Hunter probably already know about it. Those of you who are not passionate about Monster Hunter might not know about it. And the reason you might not know about it is because it doesn't really matter anyways, because unless you know how to speak Chinese, you're not going to have access to it. At least according to the latest sources that I've seen. I've tried checking up recently to see if there had been any news, and I personally couldn't find it. If you guys found any particular news that indicate that this free-to-play MMO is actually coming to the West, make sure to leave it in the comments so that I know, and I'll go and I'll check it out. Because at this point in time, this whole free-to-play Monster Hunter MMO, for starters, I'm not that passionate about having a free-to-play Monster Hunter MMO to begin with, because I think that due to the mechanics of how Monster Hunter works, I mean, Monster Hunter is the kind of game that you already have to grind by nature. You will have to kill the same monsters over and over again. In the normal game, like before it even becomes an MMO, it's already grindy in its nature. Now, I'm not saying this is necessarily a super bad thing. I'm just saying that it will put a lot of people off due to the fact that you have to repeat encounters to get certain materials, have to break certain parts of monsters and stuff like that. And it's an aspect of the game that does not do so well in the West. And the thing is, if you, on top of that, you put on like, I don't know, a microtransaction system of a free-to-play MMO, which tends to increase the grind. I mean, let's face it, free-to-play MMOs are a little bit grindy. That's just a fact of life, especially the ones that are mostly focused on the Asian market, which will be the case with the new free-to-play Monster Hunter. Now, that in itself puts me towards the very doubtful position, as in, like, would I really enjoy this game? Like, I really don't think so. But then again, it's Monster Hunter, and as you guys know, I've been dying to basically play an updated version of Monster Hunter. The closest I've gotten to play, like a more recent version of Monster Hunter is really Soul Sacrifice, which I also have to say that even though it has a lot of similarities with Monster Hunter, it is most definitely its own game. But at the end of the day, this whole free-to-play Monster Hunter thing, I'm not that passionate about it because, like I told you, I just feel they might push the grind aspect of it too much as opposed to focusing on, skill and chopping tails and whatnot. You might just have to, I don't know, chop a tail of a monster 50 times to get an item, or you'll have to pay to get it. I don't know exactly what they could do with that business model, but I could see a lot of opportunities for them to exploit it in the wrong ways. I'm not saying that's going to be the case, but it's definitely a possibility. And on top of that, I also have to say, being someone who really likes and enjoys the Monster Hunter franchise and being in the West, I have to say that I'm sorry, Capcom, but you have no idea how to really, manage this particular franchise in the West. I mean, seriously, you're only going to make it for the Wii U. I mean, and I realize this is just like something that I've been whining since the end of times, because they won't release a proper Monster Hunter for the PlayStation 3, even though there is one, which is Monster Hunter Portable 3rd HD, or is it even called High Definition? I don't know. But it is like, there is a version for the PlayStation 3, but it's only in Japanese. And it's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh, man. Whenever we start talking about Monster Hunter, I'm just like, because I'm really passionate about that franchise ever since I kind of got properly introduced to it. And there's just no proper way to play it, and it pisses me off. I guess there is a proper way to play it. Buy a Wii U. But I'm not going to buy a Wii U for one game. Let's face it. Especially considering what Nintendo is doing in regards with their titles, which is another topic that I'll address further on. But seriously. But yeah, I mean, that's the reason why I haven't talked that much about the Monster Hunter MMO. And that's the reason why there isn't a whole lot to say about the new Monster Hunter MMO. I just feel it's going to get way too exploitative in regards to the free-to-play business model. And I just wish I could have, like a PlayStation 4 Monster Hunter or a proper Monster Hunter for my Vita, because let's face it, I mean, Freedom Unite is a PlayStation portable title. It's not really a PlayStation Vita title. But yeah, that's everything I can say about that. Switching topics a little bit here. Oh, and remember, please leave your suggestions for the next community topic in the comment section. Check the comments, upvote the stuff that you think you'd like to see me talk about. I'd really appreciate it. But moving on, I would like to talk a little bit about the Last of Us event, which was an event that was really fun. They've actually decorated a specific theater that there is in Lisbon. For those of you who are in Portugal, this event was held at Teatro da Comuna, or the Comuna Theater, which I'm not exactly sure how you would properly translate that to English. But I went over there, and it was pretty cool because they decorated like the whole theater to make it look like it was a scenery from The Last of Us. Like, you walk in and there's this little garden at the entrance, and they had broken chairs and not forced vines and stuff hanging, because that's kind of a theme in The Last of Us. And inside of the theater, the bathrooms were all chuck full of raspberry sauce, or I don't know, some other kind of bread sauce to simulate blood, and there was dirt in the walls and like a whole bunch of, they basically decorated the thing to make it look like post-apocalyptic, The Last of Us believable scenery. So I thought it was kind of cool. And then we got to have that presentation that you guys saw on my channel. Unfortunately, the presentation that you did see on my channel was not complete because they specifically requested us not to upload the complete presentation. And something that I definitely want to do with my channel is respect the people that that hold these press events, because otherwise it's like you can easily get blacklisted and get screwed over. And I already know of people that pretty much broke the embargoes on The Last of Us, because I've seen videos of the demos being played on certain channels in The Last of Us, and I just think that it's kind of unfair because I myself had access to some of that, and I didn't really play it just to make sure I wouldn't break any embargoes. And then these people go and they break embargoes and they're raking bank on top of it, and it does piss me off to some degree, because you're trying to. I'm trying to make a living here out of this, and I'm trying to play everything by the rules and whatever. And every single time you will see someone cut corners, do something illegal, and get away with it. And you're like, oh, you son of a bitch, I just want to beat the crap out of you. But that's the way it goes. I mean, a lot of people currently in this business do not respect media embargoes. And on account of that, they get tons of hits from YouTube. They get tons of revenue from it. And they very, very rarely ever get punished. And it's just something that kind of pisses me off. But I'm sorry for the side rant there. But the thing is, the Last of Us event was really amazing. I got to interview Rurikhan, as you guys have probably seen. As a matter of fact, he even gave me his card. However, I can't really show it because, I doubt the camera would pick up the details. But it's like, well, let me just try and hide most of the stuff like so. And here's the guy's card. It's a pretty cool card. I don't want to show it in great detail, but it's definitely a pretty cool card. And I was like, oh man, I wish I had like a really cool business card to show off as well. When he handed me his card at the interview, I was like, damn, I need to have one of these. So yeah, I need to work on getting one of these done. Most likely, I'll pester Side Strafe about it, see if I can get him to do something for me. It's just, his stuff is just so good when he's working, on art and stuff like that. So I just like his stuff, which is the reason why I always go to him and ask him to do this kind of stuff. But yeah, it was pretty cool interviewing the guy. The guy was pretty relaxed. We had a decent conversation. I just wish I had better audio on the camera. I really need to get a microphone for this camera. There's just no going about it. I'm going to have to buy a microphone, because I am never going to suffer through what I had to suffer last time again, which is me looking at that interview, which I thought the interview looked really great. The footage was amazing and the sound was terrible. And you guys, I remember noticing that in the comment section, a lot of you guys were like, oh my God, the sound is horrible. The sound this, the sound that. You should have done some equalization. You should have done this. And look, guys, I'm not an audio professional. And I can mess about with audio a little bit. Every single video that you guys see of me, including this one, there's always noise cancellation. Because if you guys knew how loud my office is on account of the PC fans and all that kind of stuff, you guys would be surprised that the videos actually sound the way they sound. Because there's a lot of noise canceling on it. Sometimes I'll even do some mastering if I feel the voice is off or something. But I do know how to do certain things in audio. But the audio from that interview was just bad. I don't want to say it was complete garbage, because, you could hear the audio somehow, but to me, it felt like it was total garbage. And if it wasn't something as exclusive as an interview with the developer of The Last of Us, I would probably have trashed it, because I just felt that audio was not good at all. And you should have seen, I spent like 3 hours fiddling about with that audio, like trying different noise cancellation techniques, trying like different voice boosts, and then reducing the volume and all kinds of stuff. But every single change I would make, sure, I would reduce the noise, but I would also reduce how much you could actually hear me and Ricky Cambier in the interview, which is why I got like so pissed off at it. And I just obsessed over that audio for hours upon hours upon hours, until I was just like, look, there's nothing I can do. I would need like this full-on audio professional if there was even a chance of recovering this particular piece of audio. And I'm just not an audio professional, and there's just not a whole lot I can really do about it. So that's what ended up happening. But I really enjoy doing these particular events, and a lot of people are like, "Oh man, yeah, I bet you enjoy doing them, whatever, like exclusive content." Is like, that's not really the reason. I just enjoy going to the events themselves, talking with the developers. It's a really great experience, which is one of the reasons why I'm so excited about going to E3. But at the same time, I know that when I'm going to be at E3, it's going to be very hard to get actually anything done. But because here's the thing, a lot of people think like, oh man, going to E3, it's going to be this amazing thing. And it's like, you guys should go and listen to like Total Biscuits videos or something, because you'll realize that it's not all roses. Like, I am aware of this. I was aware of this before I made the decision that I wanted to go to E3. I was well aware that it's not like roses all over the place. Hell no. It's going to be a hell of a mess. There's going to be a lot of people just pushing and almost killing each other's for interviews and stuff like that. And it's like there's this whole thing about E3 that it's actually a lot. If you're just going there, like say from someone who wants to watch the event, you're actually a lot better off doing it at home. That's a fact. I can already assure you of this, and I've never even gone to E3, but I'm pretty much certain that you're better off watching E3 at home. However, if you are invested in the industry like I am, you'll probably want to go and try and, get some contacts with some of the developers or something, because that is the way to actually get stuff done, to actually get legitimacy that you're invested in the medium. And it's one hell of an investment to friggin' go there. It's ridiculous. But I've been talking with the Portugal Gaming guys, because one of the Portugal Gaming guys is going to go with me, and we're going to go and we're going to have access. At least I think that we already have the invitation to go to the Microsoft press conference and the Sony press conference. I think we got both of those already. I'm not sure about Ubisoft's and EA's, and Nintendo is not really going to have one. Although they actually have one kind of smaller thing just for press, which I believe we're also going to have access to that. But I will have to report back on all that stuff with videos like this one, because it's just going to be me talking about the stuff that I've seen. Because, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually capture any footage with my out-of-date camera. And still, I don't have a good microphone. I just need to get a good microphone. I mean, everything just boils down to if I don't get a good microphone for this camera, I might as well shoot myself in the face, because I just need it. I need to get a good microphone for this camera. But yeah, I've been preparing for E3. It's just mostly a mental preparation. It's more of a mental thing than anything else, because I've already seen the hotel I'm going to be staying at. If you guys are curious, damn it, I actually don't have it written down now. But I might tell you guys the hotel further ahead before I actually leave for E3. Because maybe some of you guys are in that area and you guys want to like meet me, or maybe I'll just get killed in the street because one of my fans is like completely obsessed with the idea of stabbing me with a box cutter or something, and I'll be like at my hotel room and someone will sneak in and slice my throat. I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't think that kind of stuff would happen. And I usually don't have any problems being public about where I'm going to be and all that kind of stuff. I know that it's somewhere on Hollywood Boulevard, the hotel that I'm staying at. It is Hollywood Express Inn or something on Hollywood Boulevard. I'm not 100% sure. You guys let me know in the comments if you really want to know that stuff, if that's interesting to you at all, and I'll just go check up on the reservation stuff again and tell you guys about it. But anyways, yeah, E3 is coming and I'm going. Now, the problem with that is also I have to start recording content in advance. Once again, like I did for when Sidestrafe came to Portugal, I have to once again just record a whole bunch of content in advance to kind of give it to you guys while I'm over there at E3 to keep the channel going. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to upload anything while I'm up there because I'm not even sure what computer I'll have. I'll have to borrow a laptop from my father, see if he will even borrow me a laptop for me to take on the E3. And I'm not sure what the capabilities of it are going to be, if I'm going to be able to even edit videos there. I would very much like to edit videos there, but I don't know. I don't know exactly if that is going to be possible at all or not, but we'll see. We'll see. But definitely, I do plan on making a whole bunch of content in advance again. And it's actually something that I don't like, I have to admit. I don't like doing content in advance because a lot of the times it will seem like I'm not taking your feedback into consideration. And it's something that, for those of you guys that have been with me since the start, you guys know that I read every single comment and I take every single piece of feedback that I get into consideration. It's just something that I do. Like when Side Strafe was here, there was actually like the last couple of days, I spent several hours going over all the comments that I couldn't read because I was outside of my home. I spent a whole bunch of hours just reading, like, it was like, I don't know, I think there were over like 2,000 comments or something. And I was going through every single one of them. Like, it took me several hours, but I just do that. I'll always do that until it becomes like impossible. At this moment, it's still pretty much manageable. I can still read every single comment, so I still do it. But I do realize that at some point it might become completely impossible. But I will try to soldier on through as much as I possibly can with that stuff. And an example of why I don't actually like recording videos in advance is Soul Sacrifice now, which is I recorded the first 2 episodes of Soul Sacrifice in English. And I didn't really have the Japanese voice packs at the time because I bought this at an online store and I never really received the code, the pre-order codes. But then I contacted the store and I said, look, I never received these codes. And he's like, oh, here's the code. We only give those out after the consumer actually receives the final product. So here's your code. And I downloaded the Japanese voice packs. And that's why from episode 3 onward, excuse me. That's why from episode 3 onward, you guys will start seeing the Japanese voice packs in play. And a lot of you guys were like, oh my God, we'd rather have the English ones and stuff like that. And at this point, I've already recorded all the way up to episode 9. You see, this is why I don't like doing a whole bunch of content in advance. It's just a necessary evil if I want to be able to go to E3 while still having content on the channel. And it just saddened me when I saw that a lot of people actually preferred the English subtitles. And it saddened me for 2 reasons, actually. Because, one, I already recorded all the way up to episode 9 in Japanese. And 2, why the hell, how can you guys prefer English voiceovers? I'm sorry, but the Japanese one is just so much better. I mean, just look at it this way. And let me explain you guys something about Soul Sacrifice that I noticed when I switched to the Japanese voice packs. So in the Japanese voice packs, you'll notice that when you're reading lines that the author of the journal, which is in turn kind of supposed to be like your character, but it's not really your character. If you guys really go into the whole story of the thing, like your character is someone else who is reading someone's journal. But anyways, that person's journal, the voice that it gives you, in Japanese, you can tell that it is a male person speaking and a female person speaking at the same time. You know, like getting an echo effect, but from a different sex. And if you switch to the English subtitles, what it seems to me, now I'm not 100% sure if this was the case or not, but what it seems like to me is that they only had one voice actor do the lines of the journal's author, as opposed to having a male voice actor and a female voice actor. It seems to me they only had one. So instead of having the female voice at the same time as the male voice, what they did was they shifted the pitch of the male's voice. So what you get is a male voice and a chipmunk voice in the English version. I'm just like, what? Like when I heard it the first time, I was like, this sounds kind of weird. Is it supposed to be like that? And then I listened to it in the Japanese one, and I was like, whoa, this is a lot better. I don't get it. And it seems that just like they're cutting costs. It's what it seemed like to me. But anyways, Japanese voice pack, in my opinion, is like bazillion times better, like easy. The voice acting. And I don't know, I just felt so much more immersed in the game when I'm playing it with the Japanese voiceovers that I never even thought about going back to English. I'm just like, look, everyone's going to get it. Like the Japanese voice back is like 100 times better. And yet it seemed like that wasn't the case. A lot of people actually still preferred the English voice back. However, I have some bad news in regards to Soul Sacrifice. For starters, let me just say something, which is maybe a lot of you guys were expecting to know how I feel about it, and I'm not sure if I've really expressed my full-on opinion about Soul Sacrifice yet in the Soul Sacrifice videos. I just usually just say, oh man, I love this, it's amazing, all that stuff. But let me just tell you something that you will be surprised. I mean, you might be surprised when I say this. I'm not sure if you will be or not. But Soul Sacrifice is a game that, in my opinion, is so good that it is actually worth buying the Vita for this game alone. Oh yeah, it is that good. Trust me. I mean, if you like what you see in my videos about Soul Sacrifice, trust me, the game is good enough that it justifies you buying a Vita just for having that game. Now, whether or not that's financially viable for you is a whole different topic. I mean, I'm not saying is it financially viable or not. I'm just saying it's worth it. If you can afford it, it is worth it. Now, obviously, I did not buy my Vita just to play Soul Sacrifice. Soul Sacrifice was one of the reasons why I bought my Vita, but I also bought my Vita because I've been doing a lot of traveling, as you guys have seen, like over 4,000 kilometers throughout the country, plus my trip to Brazil earlier last year, and my upcoming trip to E3. So I already knew that I was going to be, away from home a whole bunch of times, and I wanted to have a gaming system with me, and that's why I kind of went with that's kind of why I bought the Vita, and I also got a pretty sweet price on it. But I love Soul Sacrifice. It's an amazing game. So it really pains me to bring you guys this next announcement, so to speak, which is I'm going to stop recording Soul Sacrifice. And you guys might be wondering, well, what do you mean you're going to stop recording Soul Sacrifice? I'm going to stop recording Soul Sacrifice at least until after E3. And the reason for that is because I've actually noticed that I've been slacking a lot recently. Like, you guys don't notice it because I'm still putting up a video up every single day, but I should have been working the past couple of days on videos that will go up during E3, and I haven't, because every single time that I think about the hassle that it's going to be to actually assemble the Vita to record Soul Sacrifice, I just feel so demotivated that at some point I just end up not doing it, because it is annoying and it's not as fun playing Soul Sacrifice the way that I'm playing it, and I feel that I'm ruining the game for myself playing it that way. Because, I mean, I'm like playing in a really awkward position. I've told you guys about this 1,000 times. You guys know about it. I'm playing in really awkward positions with a camera in front of me, like leaning forward like freaking Quasimodo. I mean, every single time I finish recording a session of Soul Sacrifice, my back hurts. That's how bad it is. And it hurts real bad. I'm not saying like my back hurts a little bit. No, it hurts like a motherfucker. It really does, because of the positions I have to put myself in to actually record the Vita. And every single time I go onto Premiere with footage from the Vita, I am disappointed every single time, because either I will move the thing slightly, like there was one time where my cat came in and like bumped into the camera and shifted the whole damn thing away from the Vita, and that's just so unprofessional. It's such a bad way to work. It pisses me off. It kind of takes me away from the game, and I don't even know what else to say about it, really. It just annoys the living crap out of me. I love this game. This game is fucking amazing. There's no other way to describe it. This game is like easily made it right next to Dark Souls for me. You know, like on my very best games of all time, there's like Dark Souls right at the top, and currently, right below it, there's Soul Sacrifice. Yes, for those of you wondering, I actually like Soul Sacrifice more than Demon Souls. Yeah. It surprised me too, but I love the game. The game is amazing, and it just pisses me off to be forced into playing the game like that and then getting not so good results when I'm actually editing it. It's just disappointing because sometimes there will be too much light. Other times there will not be enough light. Sometimes it will be a little bit blurry because I have to manually focus it every single time because otherwise it will constantly shift focus and whatnot. Then I'll have to do frame blending because I need to mix up the frames because my camera can only capture 25 frames a second, and you can tell a lot of the times they're like mid animations and there's just a lot of stuff that when I'm editing these videos, I'm like, man, this could be so much better if I could just get direct feed off of it. And I noticed that a lot of my audience, like they will also love the game, but they will not watch the video because it doesn't have the usual quality standard that my videos tend to have, and it's just frustrating. And that's why I feel so demotivated whenever I have to actually record it. And yesterday I just reached the decision that it's like, look, it's over. I can't record it like this because I don't even feel like recording when I'm thinking about recording this game. I just think I don't want to record it. I don't. And unless something comes up that makes this a lot easier, and I know that I've said this before and then ended up coming back and just recording Vita again, and I probably will eventually record Vita again because I'm just that stubborn. But the reason why I'm waiting for E3 is I want to see if Sony announces something in regards to actually having a proper PlayStation Vita coming up in the future with capture software, or maybe some capture hardware, or maybe some other solution like I've suggested. Just look, have the Vita stream the footage to the PlayStation 3, and then I could capture it from the PlayStation 3, or have the Vita stream the footage to the PlayStation 4. I don't know, but something's got to give, and I need an official solution because I don't think getting a modded Vita is the solution, and I think that a lot of you guys also don't want me to get a modded Vita because you guys are aware of my financial situation. I mean, just going up to E3 is going to set me back like a whole lot, and if on top of that I have to buy a PlayStation Vita, it's just gonna, I don't know. I've also considered the same way that I did the chip in for the AverMedia card. I've considered doing a chip in for a modded Vita, but it's like, I hate doing that. I hate it. It's not that I'm proud of, that I'm proud to the point where I will not take donations. I mean, I gave 2 shout outs for people for giving me donations earlier this video. The reason is I just don't like doing that. I feel like I'm taking advantage of my audience because they're passionate about watching my content, and I don't like taking advantage of people. And I realize that I'm not taking advantage of people, but that's how I feel, and I don't want to do that. So while there is a possibility that I might do it in the future, I don't want to. I really don't. But it's like, I know that a lot of you guys really want to watch the Soul Sacrifice thing, and I want to bring you the Soul Sacrifice thing, but at the current state the Vita is in, I just can't get myself to do it. It's just terrible. It's not a professional way to capture footage from a console. There's no way. There's no way that's a professional thing. It doesn't look good. I don't like it. It's annoying. It's cumbersome. I feel like I'm lecturing you guys, so I'm gonna just stop here. I'll eventually record like maybe episode number 10 because I know that a lot of people don't actually watch Kast, so I want to make sure that I let the people that are watching Soul Sacrifice know that I'm going to stop recording Soul Sacrifice for that reason. Hopefully at E3 we hear good things about a new Vita being launched or something with capture options, or maybe some option coming to the PlayStation where the Vita can stream to it. I don't know. Hopefully I hear that at E3 I find a solution for the Vita recording thing. And if I don't, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to proceed. But that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to stop recording it, which means most likely during E3 you guys are going to be getting a whole lot of Demon Souls, depending on how long it actually takes me to finish Demon Souls, that is, which I'm not even sure how long that'll be. But yeah, sorry about the lecturing. Soul Sacrifice is awesome. Capturing footage with the Vita is not. Let's move on. If you guys remember a long time ago, my very first ever video made, I came up with this concept because at the time I was only playing MMOs. And I came up with this concept that I would call the thing about me talking about video games. I would call the show, so to speak. I would call it MMOments. And I really liked that because I thought it was pretty clever. It's moments in MMOs, MMOments. So I was really proud of that title. Unfortunately, I never really advanced too much with that particular concept. But recently, I don't even know why I said that MMOments thing now that I think about it. I just wanted to talk about that recently. I've been playing a lot of MMO, one MMO in specific. And it's just, I wanted to give you guys a background that before I really got started on Dark Souls, I was really big into MMOs. Not a lot of you guys know this, but I was really like hardcore into World of Warcraft. And when I say hardcore, I'm talking about the whole raid schedule thing. Like we would raid like, I don't know, 12 hours a week or something. And I know that this is not like super hardcore. There's people that are way more hardcore than that. They'll raid like, I don't know, whatever. But to me, 12 hours a week, 4 hour sessions of raiding, that's pretty hardcore, in my opinion. So I used to do that in World of Warcraft. And I really loved playing World of Warcraft. I used to be a main tank. And it's just, I would used to tank a whole lot in World of Warcraft is what I'm saying. So I've always enjoyed MMOs before I really started into the whole Dark Souls thing. And recently I've gotten started playing again a game that you guys know that I've played, which is SWTOR. And you guys know that I've very harshly criticized the free-to-play model of SWTOR. And I will do it again. I still don't agree with how they're handling free-to-play. I think they're way too restrictive, and it really turns me off to the whole game. But regardless of that, recently I started playing it again because I wanted to see the my character story and all that stuff, and they came up with an expansion and whatnot. So I ended up buying the expansion for SWTOR. And I haven't touched any of the expansion stuff. The reason I bought the expansion is because I also wanted to subscribe. And if you get the expansion and you also subscribe to the thing, and someone is ringing my door, I just feel like bitch slapping them, but that's okay. But if you actually subscribe and get the expansion, you will actually get like a price reduction on it. So I got it. I've been playing it. And for the past 2 days, I did nothing but play SWTOR. I played SWTOR because, again, I was like thinking, man, I should really record Soul Sacrifice. And then I was like, man, but I have to set up the camera and the video's not going to come out as good as I want. And not even the audio is that great, unfortunately. And then it's like, oh, I'll just play a little bit of SWTOR. And a little bit would be like, morning until 6 a.m. That was a little bit. It's also because of the fact that I really haven't been playing a lot of games just for fun. Most of the games that I play, I end up just recording. So SWTOR was just a game that I started playing mostly for fun because I really appreciate the BioWare storytelling. And out of all the characters I've played in SWTOR so far, which haven't honestly been that many, but like I played a little bit of the Sage, I played a little bit of the Jedi Knight, I played a little bit of the Sith Inquisitor. I have to say that the story that I had the most fun with is the Smuggler. The Smuggler story is just amazing. And especially if you don't go like, a lot of people will go like all metagaming. It's like, no, man, I'm going to go like all light side, all fucking light side. And they'll just get like light side choices all over the place, and they'll get like light 5 or whatever. And then they'll be able to use the relics and all that stuff. Me, no. I was just like, no, I'll pick whatever I feel like picking. And my character ended up being mostly neutral, shifted slightly towards light, because I am usually a nice guy. But a lot of times it'd be like bad guys in the ground, and he's like, oh my God, please don't kill me, please don't kill me. And I'm like, fuck you, you're going to kill me 5 seconds ago, die. And I would just straight up off them, like I don't give a damn. And the story is really amazing if you play a smuggler like that. I think there's a lot of fun to be had in the smuggler story, and it's definitely the best story I've seen in SWTOR so far. And I feel that SWTOR has a lot of content. There's a lot of content in SWTOR, definitely. And a lot of it you can access using the free-to-play thing. And even like my main concern when I saw the free-to-play thing was probably the flashpoints, because flashpoints to me are a big deal. You guys know I love like queuing up and doing instances and stuff like that, and that's what flashpoints are. They're like 4-man instances. And the thing that pissed me off is the fact that you only get 3 loot rolls. That was the main thing that pissed me off. But then I figured out you can actually buy the stuff that is in the cartel shop. A lot of people will buy it and then put it up for sale on the auction house. So you can actually get a lot of that stuff from the auction house. Like you can get the weekly passes and stuff like that. And they're not even that expensive. Like I bought 2 weekly passes for flashpoints for like 60,000 credits each, which I don't really think is that much considering how easy it is to make credits in SWTOR. So yeah, I've been playing a whole lot of SWTOR. I'm probably going to be making just a couple of flashpoint videos to show you guys, to see if you guys are interested in me showing you SWTOR, and we'll see where we go from there. Also in regards to MMOs, since I'm talking about MMOs, I want to talk about more MMOs that I've been playing. There's also Defiance, which is currently an MMO that I also really enjoy. As you guys probably seen, I've done 2 Defiance videos recently. So I've been playing SWTOR, Defiance, probably more SWTOR though, I'll be honest, because I really wanted to see the ending of my character's story, and now I want to go and check out Makeb, the new planet, all that stuff. But I've been playing SWTOR, Defiance, Warframe, played a little bit of Neverwinter, and Terra, like in the recent months, so to speak. And what I've came to notice is that I really enjoy playing SWTOR right now, despite the fact that I hate their business model. I really do, because I think they're over-restrictive. But if you subscribe, which I've done for 1 month now, it's just like, the game's amazing. And there is enough content to justify a subscription, in my opinion. But regardless of that, I still don't like the fact that they just kind of push you towards it. If you're making if your game goes free to play, you should not poke and prod your subscribers. Man, you need to go subscriber. You need to go subscriber. And it's like, I understand. They need to make money. They need to make money, and they can make money out of stuff like cosmetic stuff, like cosmetic sets and experience boosts and all that stuff. I'm full on board for that. I don't like the way that they limit you as much as they do, though. Like with the X growth thing with the funds, they don't let you do. They let you do flashpoints. They don't let you loot rewards at the flashpoints, which is ridiculous. They don't let you do operations. They don't let you do the space missions. I mean, they let you do it, but they let you get 3 loot rolls out of each of those things, and you can only queue 3 times for what do you call those? The PvP scenarios, I forget, but you can only war zones. You can only queue 3 times for war zones a week. I think it's a little bit too limited. But anyways, I'm just drabbling on at this point. What I was saying is that if I look into all the MMOs that I've been playing, it was like SWTOR, Defiance, Warframe, Neverwinter, and Terra. I have to say I really like SWTOR. I really like Defiance. I really like Warframe, even though I haven't been playing a lot of Warframe. For some reason, I always seem to leave Warframe behind. But it's like I actually bought a Founders package in Warframe. And not because I need it, because I actually got closed beta access. But I bought the Founders package because I wanted to support the game, because I think Warframe is an amazing game. And like I said, I love SWTOR, I love Defiance, and I love Warframe. And yet I've just recently discovered that I actually don't like Neverwinter that much. Thing is, when I started playing Neverwinter, I was playing with Pally Time, and it was just the 2 of us. Most of the time, he would be healing me, I would be pulling mobs and killing stuff, and it was a whole lot of fun. When I started playing by myself, it got boring like this. It's just instantly, boom. I was like, I'm bored. I don't like it. And then I start hearing all these reports about how the economy went south and how you can get the best gear with in-game currency, and not in-game currency, their currency, their premium currency. And I was just like, that turned me off. And then on top of it, I was just like I said, when I was playing alone, I didn't find it that amusing. So eventually I stopped playing it, and I haven't touched it since. So Neverwinter, not sure what I can really say about it. I liked it when I was playing the video. I think it's a fun game. If people are interested in it, they should definitely check it out. But for some reason, it just turned me off. I think the one thing that turned me on to Neverwinter was, 1, it has dwarfs. 2, I was playing with a friend when I played it the first time. After I got past those 2 things, I don't know, I got bored of it instantly. Then there's Terra, which I can't really explain why, but I got sick of it as well. I don't know. It almost seems like I'm tired of fantasy MMORPGs for some reason, because all the MMORPGs that I'm enjoying are sci-fi. So I don't know. But again, you guys are probably going to be seeing some more SWTOR stuff in my channel, some more Defiance, and some more Warframe. And I'm saying this right after the Soul Sacrifice thing because these are going to be the three things that are most likely going to be replacing my Soul Sacrifice content. And I realize that a lot of people are going to be sad by it. Trust me, you are not half as sad as I am for not actually recording Soul Sacrifice, because I love Soul Sacrifice. I think it's an amazing game. Like I said, it's right there next to Dark Souls for me right now because I love the game. But recording it is just such a pain in the ass that I don't even feel like doing it. As a matter of fact, I think that's also the reason why ENB is probably not doing his, because it's boring as hell. Seriously, recording Soul Sacrifice is a pain in the ass. And that's not Soul Sacrifice's fault. It's just PlayStation's fault. They need to come up with a solution for people to record Vita. Otherwise, I don't know. Anyways, the reason I was also talking about this whole MMO stuff is because I want to know your opinion. Are you guys excited about watching SWTOR? Do you guys not want to watch SWTOR? Do you guys not want to watch Defiance or Warframe? Do you guys not want to watch MMOs at all on my channel? I'm just kind of, trying to get some feedback out of you guys. I'm just kind of picking your minds because I realize that my audience on YouTube is quite a niche audience because I don't often do AAA games unless I happen to like them, because it seems that I don't like a whole lot of AAA games for whatever reason. Like, I don't give two craps about Halo. I don't give two craps about Gears of War. Don't give two craps about Call of Duty or Battlefield. It just doesn't seem like I like a lot of those mainstream games. But I do like some of them every now and then. Like, for instance, The Last of Us, God of War, Tomb Raider. So you will still see AAA games on the channel for sure, but I'm wondering if MMOs are a thing. Like, I'll have to do videos. I'm going to do videos on it, of course, but I'm just asking your feedback in advance. I'm going to do SWTOR and Warframe. I definitely know that you guys like Warframe at this point. I was one of the early adopters of Warframe, if I can even say that myself, because you guys know I've been pretty much supporting Warframe despite the fact that most people around me kept telling me, oh man, Warframe, it's a piece of shit, it's repetitive, it's this, that, and the other. And I was like, no, I think Warframe is amazing. I said it since the start. Like, a lot of people were like, man, the Warframe, Schmorframe. And it's like, no, I like Warframe. So these three games you guys are going to be seeing in the channel pretty soon. More of, because you guys have already been seeing some of the Defiance. You're probably going to see more of that. And you guys might be wondering, but is having a niche game audience good? And yes, it is. I love it. I love the fact that even my audience is more niche, like towards Dark Souls and that kind of stuff. Even though Dark Souls is kind of going mainstream now. Not really going mainstream, but there's a lot of rumors about Dark Souls going mainstream, all that stuff. A lot of discussion going back and forth. Right now, I've gone from cautiously optimistic, or was it cautiously hopeful? I don't remember. It was one of those. I've gone from that to, I'm actually pretty confident that the new directors can pull it off. But we'll see. We'll see what comes with Dark Souls 2. But definitely I like the fact that I have a niche game audience. I like it. It's like it's almost like playing the YouTube game in hard mode. Anyways, before I sign this off, I have just two games that I want to touch on, because I've been kind of going through a couple of games, kind of like my backlog kind of thing. And one of those games was Uncharted Golden Abyss. And I want to talk just a little bit about Uncharted Golden Abyss, because, considering that I just had an interview with Naughty Dog and everything, I wanted to say, seriously, Naughty Dog, you guys are an amazing developer. I think Uncharted Abyss is a pretty good game, but you really, really, really went overboard on the Vita features. I'm not sure if I've mentioned this. I might have mentioned this on the latest Cons cast, but the last two boss fights of Uncharted Golden Abyss are just swipe fights. You're just swiping stuff, and if you miss, you die, and it's... No, please don't ever do that again. That's the one thing I would like to ask Naughty Dog. Just please don't do that. Like, the game was pretty good. Apart from that, I actually liked the puzzles. Like, a lot of people didn't like the rotating puzzles and stuff. I actually really like that. I didn't like cleaning items. I like the scrubbings. Like when you would have to carve something onto a piece of paper. That was kind of cool. Cleaning items when you had to like, rotate the item with the back trackpad and then clean it with the front. That I didn't like. I didn't think that was that cool. Carvings was cool, although it was a little bit overdone because there were a lot of carvings to do, and I didn't even do all of them. And the puzzles were cool. Definitely the puzzles were really cool. The ones where you had to rotate the pieces and whatnot. That was cool. I like that. The swiping, I hated it. Especially because apparently if your Vita is connected to a power source, the swiping doesn't register as well. Maybe it was just me, but it happened to me. Like when the Vita was connected to a power source, like I could not do counters to save my life. Like no way. Like the thing is like, there's an arrow, swipe like this. I would swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe slowly and swipe faster. Nothing would register. And I was like, oh my God. But yeah, I finished that. Overall, it's a pretty good game. I think they went a little bit overboard with the Vita features, though. The other game I want to talk about, if you guys remember a while back during one of my PlayStation Pluses incoming, I told you guys I would probably be playing War in the North with a friend of mine, Lord of the Rings, War in the North. And I did. I played Lord of the Rings, War in the North with a friend of mine. And basically, the game is broken. Like, you get to a certain chapter, I think it's like the end of chapter 5, and I don't know, for some reason, to a lot of people, the game just breaks. And it breaks in a way that you can't even proceed anymore. You have to, like, create a new save game. And I'm like, what? Really? How is this even possible? Then I go and I Google it, and I realize that a lot of people have been struggling that issue for a long time. And basically, that broke the game for me. And it's like, this is a game that, it's not amazing, but it was pretty decent. It was a game that I had a pretty positive outlook on. I was even thinking about making a playthrough on my channel. I mean, maybe not a full playthrough, but just kind of like introduce the game to people because it's a really good game if you're playing with a friend and you do the whole co-op thing. It's funny. And then it's like, it just spoiled the whole game for me because I wasn't able to finish it because of this one bug that prevented me from progressing. It was the Mirkwood bug. If you guys want, you can go and Google War in the North, Mirkwood progress bug, whatever. I could not progress past that point, and I was really sad because I was really, having fun, despite the fact that it's not this super amazing title. It was still pretty good, and it pissed me off. So be warned, those of you who are playing War in the North. Maybe you want to do some research and find out which way you can actually play the game without it breaking on you. But yeah, and also as a final bit of news, just to not finish on a negative note, the Portugal gaming team actually asked me to do a playthrough of Dark Souls in Portuguese. And I might do it. I'm probably going to do that in the Portugal gaming channel. And it's like, I hope that people from my channel aren't like upset with the fact that I'm going to do a Portuguese playthrough. It's just they've gotten me access to so much stuff, and they're getting me the press pass for E3 and access to the major conferences and all that stuff. It's like, I mean, come on, what's a Dark Souls playthrough compared to all the stuff they have gotten me, So I like working with the Portugal gaming guys, so I will be doing a Portuguese Dark Souls playthrough. But don't fear, Dark Souls will be returning to the channel soon enough. It's just, let me first get through the whole Demon Soul thing, and we'll see what we can do afterwards. But unfortunately, Soul Sacrifice will be taking a hiatus. Hope you guys can understand that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today's show. Thank you very much for watching. As usual, comments, feedback, and remember, community topic, especially community topic. Remember to leave me either a suggestion on the community topic or to upvote a community topic that you would like to see me discuss. Thank you very much for watching the Kast, and I will see you guys in the next one.